Burns, and I'm an old broad. And today, this old broad is going to talk to you about weddings and what she knows about the more traditional, old fashioned, older generation weddings, and what she's learned about modern weddings styles of the current times. And I think what we'll do is we should probably start off with the most important part of the wedding. And of course, that's the wedding dress. The traditional wedding dress is white. And this tradition was started by none other than Queen Victoria. And this is a picture of Queen Victoria's wedding dress. It's quite lovely. And nowadays, the wedding dress is still mainly white. Today's current colors for the bridesmaids is rose and terracotta, and quite lovely together. And then there's always the black wedding dress that hasn't really taken over, but has gained in popularity. And at first I thought, ick, but really they're quite lovely, I think. Now, believe it or not, the wedding registry is something that is decades old. I thought maybe it was just something more of these times, but no. It was just a little more difficult to do because people actually had to go to the stores to check out the registry and to buy the items. Nowadays, it's quite common. Couples have registries at several different places, and they're all online and usually quite simple to order the present for. And how nice that is, that you're getting them something that they really need and that they're not going to have duplicates of. So I think that wedding registry is a great idea. The other thing that is still common from the old days to the new are the bachelorette parties and the bridal showers. Now, the bachelorette parties used to be called hen's night. I think that's kind of cute. And the tradition was that the bridesmaids, one of the bridesmaids or all of the bridesmaids put together the whole thing for the hen's night or the I'm having a hard time saying bachelorette party. They were in charge of it. They got it planned. The bride was usually kind of surprised, but maybe a little bit in on it, but not really too much involved. The same goes with the bridal shower. The bridal shower was traditionally put on by the maid of honor or the matron of honor. And again, a big surprise for the bride, nothing that the bride's family had to pay for. It was paid for by others that wanted to contribute to the party and put on by the party. Nowadays, that's quite different. A lot of the times, the brides are planning their own and paying for it. And I don't know if it's because the bridesmaids don't know their roles or if the roles have just changed and it's not a big deal. And then the other thing that's different, quite different from then to now, is the wedding vows. A lot of the times the wedding vows were very traditional and very much coming from the church or the Bible. Nowadays, a lot of people write their own wedding vows. Some may have to get it approved by their church if they're getting married in the church, but a lot of people aren't getting married in churches anymore either, and that was quite a revelation for me. I see them getting married outdoors. It doesn't mean that they're not at a church, but that it's just not so formal. And perhaps those times are the times that they can write their vows and have it be more natural. It's quite interesting too about who escorts the bride or gives the bride away. That has changed over the years as well. The tradition was that the bride was given away by her father. And if her father wasn't available, often it was the elder brother or perhaps by an uncle if there was neither else available. But nowadays, they have anybody or different people giving away the bride. Like this couple has her mom and dad or this bride, I mean, has her mom and dad giving her away, which is lovely. And then there's some brides who have only had their mother available and giving them away if the father's not present or not able to be there, or perhaps gone. Now, the attire, as you can see from a lot of these pictures that we just looked at, was very formal traditionally. And I think that tradition has stayed through modern times. Very formal, very dressed to the nines. Everyone was at their best. And that's a nice tradition. Nowadays, like I said, I think that has carried through, but there are sometimes, depending on the venue of the wedding, a more casual look. Some venues are kind of remote, and it just makes sense to have a less casual attire, especially like something at the beach. You know, don't try to walk in high heels at the beach. And then some venues are at the farm, and it just makes sense. Traditionally, it was very taboo to wear black dresses or white dresses if you were attending as a guest to the wedding. That certainly has changed. I don't think that there is probably any restrictions on the type of dresses and the colors that you can wear to a wedding nowadays. Another thing was that when you used to get an invitation to a wedding, it was pretty much understood that it was for anybody in your household. They could come. Nowadays, with bride and grooms having to pay per plate expenses for receptions, they will often have a no kids rule, or how they'll do it is that they will put on the invitation for the RSVP part of it. They will put a number of guests invited that will be attending, and so in that way, they're kind of saying only the ones that are invited are going to be attending or should be attending. I don't know how to go around that any other way, and I think that's probably the best way they could do it is just by putting it like that on the RSVP. And believe it or not, traditionally, giving cash was taboo. You did not give cash. It was more of gifts because you were trying to help the couple set up a household that will be functional and nice, and that they would have all the necessary things that they would need to have a nice household. So therefore, they used to have, at least in my part of the country, they used to have what's called the dollar dance at the reception. And the bride and the groom would go on the dance floor singly, and then people would come up and dance with them for 30 seconds or a minute and give them money to do so. And that way, the couple still got some cash to go towards, I don't know, the honeymoon or whatever they might need. But now, most couples have been living together for a while, and so they have a household pretty much established. So it is not taboo at all to give cash and money as a gift to the happy couple. And another thing that hasn't changed from then to now very drastically is the party favors given out at the reception to the guests that come. They have stayed pretty much traditionally the same. The traditional party favors were, believe it or not, sugared almonds, and they would put them in little boxes or little bags to give out as party favors. Sometimes they would include some chocolates or some candy of some sort, but mainly it was the almonds. And I think that that still is true today. I gave out nuts, and they also like to have mementos of the wedding. These are cute little mementos that you could give out. At my wedding, and this goes back to show you how old I am, I gave out matchbooks that had our wedding information on it as a memento. So I'm Boots Burns, and I know stuff, and I hope you've enjoyed what this old broad had to say about weddings then and now. Please leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You can leave a comment. I would appreciate those. And if you're so inclined, please ring my bell. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.